Hey everybody, and happy Saturday. My name is Anna. If you are new to my YouTube channel, then you probably don't know anything about it. I've only posted a few videos. A few of them have me singing on them. I love to sing, so that's pretty much all there really is on there. Also, there's one about me explaining that I'm going to start a YouTube channel, which I kind of forgot about for like the longest time. But then, this is kind of why I'm making this video. I happened to make a comment on Nicole Paluzzi's, aka Snooki, page, because she had made a story about how she was adopted, and I could totally relate to her because I was also adopted, and she was adopted from Santiago, Chile, which so was I. And we were both adopted at like the same age, which was 6 months. Um, and she was just saying, how she didn't know anything about her biological family and everything like that. So I made a comment like I could really relate to her and everything, and I got a lot of responses on it. So I decided to make a video of my own. Um, Honestly, I don't know like what I'm going to be talking about. I guess just about me in general. I mean, not that I think I'm related to her at all, or it would be nice, of course. But that's not why this is being made at all. I guess just to talk a little bit about who I am, and maybe a little bit about, you know, the me being adopted myself. So I live in Maryland. Like I said, I was adopted from Santiago, Chile. Um, Growing up, my mom like never kept it a secret from me. She told me a story about like two bears that wanted a baby bear, and they couldn't have a baby bear, so they traveled across sea and to go get a baby that they wanted very, very much. So, and that baby turned out to be baby Anna, baby me. So, it was never like any secret or anything like that. So, I didn't actually think too much of it when I was younger. But then as I got older, like teenage years, I started wondering, like, why did this happen? Why did my mom give me up for adoption? And I did ask my mom a few questions. She didn't know all that much about my biological mother. Apparently, there wasn't much to know, except she was very young at the time that she had me. She was, I believe, like 16 years old, something like that. And I don't know if the father was even in the picture. I mean, of course he was in the picture, I wouldn't be here. But I mean, like I don't know if she actually knew who he was. I don't know. So there was like no mention of him though. And actually, when they adopted me, I hadn't been named, even though I was a few months old. They just called me Baby Silva. So that was my mother's last name. So my parents gave me the name Anna and everything. So yeah, so as a teenager, I started to have some issues with it, and I don't want to say like abandonment or whatever, but I mean, maybe in the back of my head that was there. Also, so I went to see a therapist and everything, and it just worked itself out. Now, I hardly ever think about it. And I have 3 children of my own, and they are ages 18, 14, and 13. So my oldest and youngest are girls, and then I have a little boy. Well, he's not little, he's 14, and he's like almost 6'1". So, which is really tall compared to me, because I'm only 4'11". But with shoes, I'm 5 foot. So, depending on what kind of shoes I wear. normally I wear flip-flops. I don't know. It's here in Maryland, like it's a lot of people, girls wear flip-flops like all through the year. Even in like the winter, I'm wearing flip-flops unless it's snowing, and then I just look kind of ridiculous wearing flip-flops. So, I put on boots and everything. So, yeah, I guess that's another similarity I have with Snooki. We're both very short. I know on the show she did a lot of drinking, which I used to drink a lot myself, but then it became a bit of a problem. So I'm actually almost 15 months sober. Ooh, ooh. So, which I did through the help of, you know, my fiance was a huge help to me. He supported me all the way through, stuck with me through it. I had to, like, I got in trouble for it. I had the whole, court case. I had to have that stupid breathalyzer thing in your car where you couldn't start it until, you blew clean. And I'm like still paying money to the state, which it was 100% my fault. I take full responsibility, so I'm not like bitching about it, but it was definitely a lesson learned, and it woke me up to a lot of things, because I have always been a drinker, not a drinker to the point where like some people where I wake up in the morning and I had to have a drink to even function, but like I would binge drink, and when I started to drink, I never knew when to stop, and it always ended up, in like embarrassment for myself, for others, for my children, and a lot of times getting in trouble, which I just got tired of. And I'm too old for that. It's not cute anymore. It's just not that it's ever cute, but everybody goes through a stage where that's not everybody. I don't want to label, but a lot of people where that's like the thing to do. So thank God I'm done with all that. So I'm staying strong. I'm keeping with my sobriety. So and what actually, I feel like I'm babbling now, but I'm just letting you know a little bit about myself. Like what actually totally changed everything for me, like besides getting in trouble, besides realizing that I needed to do it for my kids and everything, was I met Danny Trejo. So I'm a big fan of his. I'm a huge horror fan. I don't know if you saw, sitting next to me, I have Chucky. I love horror movies, or if you notice my ring every time I touch my face, sometimes I have a Jason ring. And behind me, I have a Devil's Rejects poster that was signed by Bill Moseley and Sid Haig, who play Otis and Captain Spaulding in The Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably like, kind of tuned me out by now. But anyway, if you do know what I'm talking about, you might think it's kind of cool. But anywho, I met Danny Trejo at a function. It was for Ashley Addiction. I went there for a while and went to some classes, and they helped me out. It was court ordered. But I towards the end, I really started to enjoy it because I got to hear a lot of other people's stories, and I've always been able to sympathize with people with addiction because I know quite a few people that struggle with it, and it's a terribly hard thing. But anyway, so I met him there. He spoke. He made a wonderful speech about how he, after so many years, had finally gotten clean, and that's how he made his big break into show business, was that he was actually going to pick up somebody for a meeting, and he really didn't want to go, but he figured I should do this, it's all part of me being a sponsor. And so he goes there, and the guy was on the set of something, and one of the producers or whatever was like, hey, you've got a look, you think you could play a criminal. And he kind of laughed about it because he'd been in and out of jail for a lot of his life. So he was like, yeah, I'll try. So, and then, so it's like God or, the universe, whichever you want to believe in, was rewarding him. So, he has stayed clean and sober since then. I think, I don't know how many years, I forget, but like it was such an inspiration. And then there was so many people there to meet him. But one of the advantages of being short was I was able to like go under a lot of arms and even crawl through some people's legs. And I got to the front of the line and I just like really quickly like put my arms around him and I was like, from one Latina to another, I was like, thank you, I admire you so much and I loved your speech. And he was like, oh, thank you, thank you. Like he seemed a little overwhelmed too, because there were so many people there. And I like handed the camera to somebody, my phone to somebody really quick, and was like, please take a picture. So they snapped a picture, and it's like my favorite picture in the world. It's me and him. And so yeah, that changed a lot for me. And anytime like I think about, you know, going and getting a drink or something, like not only do I think of my children and everything I've accomplished, but I always think of like him and his story and, how he was rewarded. And, if I keep on my path, that maybe one day, God will reward me as well. So, um, yeah, that's a little bit about me. Um, I don't know if you want to know any more, but um, I don't even know where that was going. I guess that was because I had been talking about Snooki drinking and everything, and then she calmed down a lot to be a mom. Which she seems like an awesome mom. Her children are beautiful. Actually, her little girl, her when I look at my baby pictures, like that is exactly what I looked like as a little girl. I don't know if it's just, every little Hispanic girl, has those similar features, the big brown eyes, the dark hair. But like, and I showed my mother, and my mother was like, I showed, my mom a picture of Snooki's little girl, and she was like, oh, I don't remember that picture being taken of you, but I love that. And I'm like, Mom, that's not even me. Like, I was like, that's Snooki's daughter. And she's like, who? So, like, I explained to her and everything. So, but yeah, so, um, other than that, I mean, I live a pretty simple life. Like I said, I have 3 kids. They are great. My daughter is getting ready to go to college. She actually went through 1 year of college already, but that was to help her get through high school. My son is getting ready to go into high school, and my youngest daughter, is going into the 8th grade. So they are all great kids. They all have their own little personalities. So, I'm very proud of all of them. And I work at Wawa as a manager. I work overnights, which I hate overnights. I love my job, don't get me wrong. I love my job. I love the people. My boss is awesome. But those overnight hours, I can't get used to them. I've always been a morning person. I've been early to bed, early to rise type person. And now I'm having to change my whole schedule. So when, everybody is awake during the day and going out and doing fun things, I'm asleep with my black drapes pulled. And, so it's a lot to get used to. And, but, at the company I work for, if, you have to go through that in order to move up. So, and it's something I definitely want to do. I've been at this job for a while, and so yeah, that's what I do. If you don't know what a Wawa is, like if you don't have one in your state, then I feel bad because they're pretty awesome. They make really good subs, or we call them hoagies. So, and I mean, they have like, mac and cheese and stuff like that. So it's a nice store. and everybody's pretty friendly. We have coffee 24/7. So, yeah, that's my life. Um, I don't know if you enjoyed this video, if you're bored to death, I don't know. But I just wanted to make it because, like I said, I haven't posted in a while, and I got a lot of feedback, which I greatly appreciate, to anybody that responded back to my comment on Nicole's page, because it meant a lot. You know, when you tell me that, yeah, you think we look alike and everything, because she's beautiful, she's absolutely gorgeous. So that makes me feel very good. And as my grandma always said, at my age, all compliments are greatly appreciated. So, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. Like, leave a comment. I don't know, but guess maybe I'll talk to you later. If not, keep an eye on my page. Maybe I'll sing a song. I don't know. But, alright. Bye.